Hello everyone, welcome to Livedocs University. And we're gonna talk about how programmers think. It's very important to understand that as you're working on data or you have to code something in Python, you need to know how does it work and how does programming works, how does coding works. I'm going to show you how does programmers think. Personally, I'm a software engineer for about 6 years or 7 years of experience. So how does programmers think? When people start to learn about programming, they usually think that programming, coding, syntax are the most difficult part. But to be honest, the most difficult part is the way of thinking logically, clearly. Programming is not about the computer things. How do you communicate with the computer or so? Programming is about telling the computer the step-by-step guide that you want it to do and to execute a particular task. Computers are not smart. They are more like literal and logical. They do things according to what you have told them to do. So let's take an example. You want to determine whether is this number an even number or an odd number. First thing, for human, number 2, it's an even number. And then number 3, it's an odd number. But how do we know? Because it's human. But for computer, you need to understand what is even means. How does the code for even looks like? So when you put in number, the computer would know how to run the algorithm. So you need to code out the step by step. How do you determine if the number is an even number? Which means to be able to modulus by number 2 in something like that. You're building an algorithm for the computer to think clearly. It's like step-by-step instructions for the computer to follow and finally output an answer for you. Most people can do coding. Most people are good in programming. Everyone can code, but one problem is they are not good in thinking step by step. They are not thinking clearly. They don't think logically in terms of how to execute a task step by step. I have seen a lot of people trying to learn to code. First thing they wanted to do is just to write the code without even thinking what the code is going to look like. How does the code is going to work? They don't plan step by step, as I mentioned, the logical process of a particular problem. That's why people are struggling with coding. And programmers think logically step by step, and that's it. That's literally just how programmers think.